Good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Mia Lueth. It's start date January 16th, 2023, and current time 7:27 a.m. Eastern U.S. Seaboard, Earthside. And right now in Elton, it's 29 degrees and it's clear. It's supposed to be a cold day today. To some people, 29 degrees Fahrenheit is not that bad, but it's below freezing, so causes issues. Yeah. But that's the approximate date. Approximate weather where I am. There's been, I haven't had any real, out in the open paranormal activity. But I do agree with I the paranexus.org. Okay. I did a PhD situation with Dr. Kelly, and I agree with Dr. Kelly about this, and it's something that paranormalists and anomalous researchers, if you're looking at if you're looking at behavior, if you're a behaviorist kind of, all right, it is possible that people's gifts, people with spiritual gifts may not know. Okay. And so, yeah, sometimes some of this activity could actually be psychokinetic. And well, then it's just like, oh, okay, well, of course, I love the Holy Christ family, man. So they may believe, brother, and to strengthen the faith of those who need it, and also to help others understand some of this could be psychokinetic, and they may not know they're doing it. You know what I'm saying? Or they may have been given, the gift of foresight, and they don't know that because there isn't anyone who tells them, you understand? And they can't really pick up on stuff properly, and they need proper guidance, not wandering around aimlessly. Yeah. So some activity which could seem like poltergeist or could seem like something else to, paranormal researcher or analysis, it could be psychokinetic energy. And so there do need to be people who understand that working alongside, paranormal investigators. And you really should have like a good, solid, well-rounded kind of like, Jungian type psychologist involved, because well, it could be home abuse. It could be some children, have excellent imaginations, and sometimes they feel more safe talking to a baby doll or the wall. You know what I'm saying? So there are many different considerations, and scientifically, you know, there needs to be more empirical thinkers, and there need to be more people who are, willing to accept. Okay, well, it's a spiritual thing, and well, it's not my kind of thing, but then okay, well, then you probably need to talk to a Catholic priest, or you probably need to, maybe you're having issues with the death of someone. I mean, you understand, right? And some people, run around summoning now, and it's like, well, do you think that this is yeah, as what I'm saying, right? I mean, and there are times when the veil is thinner. Well, I'm saying times, okay, because I honestly can tell, like anomalous researchers and those who study the earth and those who know like the earth sings kind of. It's got a frequency. Yeah, these kind of people, and they tend to be more in the, you know, scientific kind of, like, yeah, yeah, uh, light waves, air waves, sound waves, things like that. It's more in the, scientific kind of realm, how all that works. And a lot of that stuff's been figured out scientifically. So, exactly, science can help prove God, people. So, get off my back. Thank you very much. Anyway, scientifically speaking, all EVPs should be listened to in a blind environment. Scientists know what I mean by that. But speaking of that, the non sighted would be a perfect candidate because their ears are very much in tune, and they might be able to pick up things that, right, sighted people wouldn't in EVPs. However, my suggestion is anyone EVPing, don't go more than 2 hours and stop. Stop. Okay? You know people, you are an investigator, you're running a scientific inquiry, then you make them stop. Okay? Like the one in charge, like if they're just not going to, you make them. All right? It's, it, you need to get like clear of that. And so the paranormal investigators do need to understand that there are people who are addicted to EVP, and that's an issue. Okay, but any of the paranormalists who have, like shows, TV, or out in the open, there people know you. You go to, you know, make sure you check yourselves too. You know what I mean? And make sure to take time for yourself to kind of center and get square and get good, and be ready. If you know you're not, then you say, well, ooh, I'm still on medical. You know what I mean? Okay. But for jobs for non-sighted people, you're listening to EVPs only 2 hours at a time. Okay. Right. They don't know. They get no information. You understand? Right. About and likely because they have such good in tune ears. Exactly. A non sighted person is an excellent, the best candidate, actually, for, yes, blind listening to EVPs because their ears are tuned. And, if they don't know anything about, right, they have no expectation bias. You understand? You have to control for that. Okay. I mean, yes, scientifically, you have to control for it, but there's a way to do it. And yes, the best candidate would be a non sighted person. Exactly. But someone can queue it up for them, whatever. Yeah, only 2 hours. You understand? Add time. Don't, and then take large breaks. All right. Because I've heard UVPs that if I like just didn't listen, like watch a show, if they're on, a TV show that's apparent. If I don't watch the show and all I do is just whoop, fast forward, and then, oh, there's an EVP, and then I close my eyes and I do headphones, I hear more clear things sometimes that aren't what I don't always agree with what the immediate TV show, yeah, is. It's like, no, nope, it definitely said, okay, the stairs. You understand? Very clearly. Yeah, headphones. All right. That is an issue. Expectation bias. Okay, everyone. So the anomalous researchers, like, yeah, I get it. I've seen behavioral anomalies, anomalies in my life. I've seen anomalies when it comes to animal behavior, but few. You understand? Few. And yes, anomalies in the sky. I mean, there's just no way that anybody could convince me otherwise. I'm like, other people see this stuff too. You see what I'm trying to say? And when it looks the sky, when it comes to like flashes in the sky, I know iridium. Right? Space trash falling out of the sky, but yeah, there were times when I'm like, how many effing iridium? Yeah, flash, 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 flash. You understand? How many iridium satellites are there? There can't be that many. Okay? It doesn't fit. Iridium, right? Iridium satellite for some of the flashes and people see them. It doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. All that is caused by iridium satellites. So stop pushing that one. I mean, really, because if you push it harder, it's just gonna be like, well, how much space trash we got above our heads then? Okay. Thank God no one ever succeeds against God. hmm So, yeah, I mean, I've seen some anomalous things, and I know how electricity works. Trust me. Okay. And there would be no electric appliance or current or anything where I was that would explain that to me. Except it is explained in the Nag Hammadi library. Okay? Like 8 foot, mostly white, light, solid, looked like maybe a little bit of indoor lighting. You understand? I mean, indoor lighting, I didn't have anything in my local, yes, to create indoor lightning. All right, but yeah, and there's nothing. Even the closest thing to it would have been a fire, combo. Yeah, a hot one, not a battery. Yeah, um, live one, and that doesn't put out that kind of stuff ever, ever, never. Right? So the physicists need to understand I'm not stupid, fellas. I mean, ladies, gentlemen, everyone. Yeah, I mean, of course I checked all the normal shit, right? But it was maybe 8 foot tall, real quick flash of it was very white light, you understand? But it was like a little bit like a little bit of lightning. It wasn't like straight, but it was just like flash, bang. Okay, I'm describing it so that scientists and other people and people who love God and other people um, uh, have that. Okay, it what happened is described fully in the Nag Hammadi library, and I hadn't read that yet, but you know, definitely an attention-getting situation, right? And then some very paranormal and extra crispy paranormal things started happening. I didn't ask to be opened, is my point. All right. Yeah. And it was not safe to do that. So don't just go opening things out of curiosity anymore, everybody or people. It can end you. And immortals should not be all trying to act all stupid. Well, I guess. I, well, you can never be born. So settle down, some of you. Some of you aren't that clever, and you aren't that great, and you understand. Some of you need serious help. Some of it's psychological help. Some of it's maybe a proper counselor. These days, there are plenty of psychologists who, kind of specialize in a certain kind of, spiritual. So if you're a certain kind of spiritual, these days there's more availability for psychologists and counselors too, who will, understand your thinking, which is good because some of it is not what you think. And, it's a multi discipline approach, you know what I mean? So, um, that's why I just all paranormal, like, um, groups in the U.S. try and, find maybe a professor or college or somebody who can help, you know, with any kind of counseling, any kind of, yeah. There are psychologists and counselors who will, be, you know, they have a license clinical or they have a something. And, but they specialize in a certain type of spirituality. Okay. So, I mean, those things are more possible these days than it was before, and there's more open understanding that, well, it could be stress, it could be prayer, it could be, any other kind of thing. And so it needs to be considered, right? That needs to be considered. And it helps a great deal, and it reduces stress, and it helps, like, build better understanding. And yeah, it really does reduce stress. So, for those, who are looking at maybe get into mental health field or want to be psychologists, want to be counselors, I mean, you're allowed to, yeah, be like, quite literally, yep. But those people specialize in a certain type of, spirituality, understand the people they're, uh, helping, talking to, counseling. A lot of times just need, someone there and someone who can, you know, help you understand certain perspectives. And so, some might not really need counseling, but every human does at some point. Okay, right. So, a more broad approach. Okay, but nowadays, talking about anything that could be a little paranormal, the issue that I have is people just automatically now assume they got something on camera they can't explain. It's automatically a spirit or a ghost. And I'm like, no, it's a bat. Bats fly at night. And so do owls. Some birds fly at night. You ask the animal behaviorist. Okay? Some of you are making yourselves look totally stupid and uneducated online. Maybe you want to do that. Maybe that's what your goal is. Okay? But that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, there are things that fly at night. Owls fly at night. Bats fly at night. Okay? I've seen people say, well, birds don't fly at night. I'm like, sure they do. And bats fly at night. Right. It was an effing bat. Okay? Ring, footage is it's lower speed and it's not high quality. So you're going to get flashes and streaks. Okay? Everybody, stop just assuming it's a goddamn spirit. Talk to the ones who would know better. I'm one of those. Exactly. Some people scares them to death there's something in their house. I mean, if it's a fly, they're not that scared. Quit fucking around and get out if you're not okay in the head. All paranormalists should have a psychiatrist and right, doctors. But you're not helping the field if you don't show and help people understand. Yeah, you need blind listens to all EVPs, everybody. That's scientific. That controls for expectation bias. It also helps control for people who get addicted. Right. I mean, once you're in there so far, man, yeah, all kinds of stuff. And the human brain is very, very well made in the sense that it does help fill in gaps sometimes, but sometimes it does not fill those gaps incorrectly or according to what's actually happening. Right. So I take a more scientific, empirical approach to anomalous research and any kind of paranormal. Okay. Because some of it's not paranormal at all. Okay. If you're afraid you got some kind of footage, you can't find a paranormalist, or you can't, right? Find a local, whiz with cameras, yep, live and still. And I guarantee you, they will help you understand. Little dust floated things that people who aren't shutterbugs like I have been my whole life would even think of. Okay. Everyone, it is not appropriate at all. I am a certified, tested paranormal investigator. You understand? And most of the time, it isn't that. And if it is, we'll quit summoning demons and maybe we won't have a problem. Demons don't have free will, folks, so you can't blame them for shit. Leave them alone right now. Okay? Stop summoning demons right now. Right. So what I'm trying to say to Zach Bagans and some of the others, I mean, I like Zach. He's a nerd. I get it. I mean, right. I know that definitely he's a sensitive, I'm a sensitive. So yeah, I mean, I kind of get this, but it's doing harm to the field. And so some of the paranormalists that have been on TV and right, be careful you're not doing harm to the field, because some of us, yes, these things can actually be frequencies, all sorts of things nowadays. And yeah, I guarantee you, 90% of all, like ring footage is, no, 99% of all ring footage is probably slow shutter speed, something that, wouldn't be aware of, or wouldn't it be normal? Okay. Some of you looking too hard and you're finding spirits where there are no freaking spirits. You understand? And that causes harm to people who are afraid of that. Okay. So you understand? And so that's why I also know to have other people to say, ooh, I don't know, right? If I did get any paranormal, aside from the light flashing qualified for me because, yes, of the immediate previous activity. And, there was actual, physical, lifting up of a, something that, yes, a physical presence would have to do. Okay. But it is just my word. I didn't get it video, but I can say, I'm not going to lie about it, and I do check for all kinds of stuff, even things that maybe other paranormalists don't. It could be that this person, Yeah, as a gift. It doesn't understand it. It's scary as shit. Okay? But everybody who's on TV, please, you all need to take serious breaks. And you all need to spend time cleaning and clearing. And you don't push your pace. And, don't use telepathy to try and trick people. Because that is not a good use of your gifts. Understood? So there are more and more considerations, and there's some, when you're like the fifth dimensional people, okay, you know, the first one dies, so I can't change what an alpha omega has. All right, it started in motion, everyone. Neither can any of you. That should be peace of mind. Like, well, you don't have to worry about it. What the hell are you doing? There shouldn't be little children running around trying to save the world. Okay? I want the paranormalists to listen to me. And I want people who know about these to listen to me. Empirical scientists. I did my own, research at Towson University. And I set it up specifically to control for expectation bias. It is a very serious matter in the scientific world. Okay? Many of you are not trained that way. And so you may see something interesting on some camera, but I can assure you, okay, you may not make a single assumption until you have checked with people who would know better than you. And you do not go putting it out in public and scaring the shit out of people in their own homes if it's just a fly. You may not do harm to this field anymore. It is easy to prove God. Do your own work. Galatians 5:22 to 5:25. Got it? Right. 988. Okay. Paranormalists. You all put yourselves in too much stupidity and peril. So you feel even the slightest bit, you call 988, even if it's a spiritual matter. You get it? And you don't fucking play games and try and get spirits to inhabit your. You understand? Well, because you will be, laughed off of the television set and out of people's lives if you don't do it right, paranormalists. Paranormalists need more breaks than other people do, and so does clergy. So back up off of me. I'm not required to prove God to anyone. But non-sighted people are the best candidate for listening to EVPs. Blind studies, you got to set it up. Okay? I mean, that's what I'm saying. Some of these shows, I'm like, okay, you're fucking up the field. And so but I am allowed now because I am. And I do have parapsychology. Sam, shut up. There are people all over the internet like saying, oh, it's a spirit. It's not a spirit. It's a freaking scratch on the camera lens. Check with people who would know better before you get all fired up about stupid crap. Okay? You are hurting people. It causes harm. Okay? Everyone, completely ignore anyone on YouTube or online who is trying to give you a date for the rapture. Pray for them and move on. Pray for them and move on. They cause harm too. Pray for them and move on. You have an enemy, you pray for your enemy. Hi, Christians. Some of you, some fake ass motherfuckers. So get out. Amen. It is done. Okay, you really think I was walking around as a child thinking, gee, I can't wait to do an exorcism when I grow up? Of course not. So I want the Holy Lord Father God to give me the right perspective and proper guidance and answers, not anyone else. I have every right in the United States of America to do that. Amen. I would like American women to know, shut up. We get it way better than some other women on this planet. Just shut up. Just shut up. Just shut up. American women get it way better than a lot of other women walking around this planet. So just shut up and take it like a grown woman. Okay? Don't try and further your fucking cause. You understand? Give a shit about that. Quit complaining. Give a shit. Right? You know, anyone, even like Doctors Without Borders, a lot of times you need to just explain some hygiene. They don't even know that. They're afraid of their own bodies. All of you extra high-minded, you're gonna have to, yeah, well, your tower's gonna go down if you don't okay, fine. Okay, I'm not on the watchtower, people, and I'm not on watch, but I am a vigilant human being, and I do give a shit about human beings. And so when I look at human beings, I'm not giving a crap about what, team you're on or what country you come from or, who you're screwing. Okay? Right. So I do touch on the immigration issue. Number one, my dad was an immigrant. Number two, asylum seekers just come first, everyone. And so if you have to wait a little extra for a visa, actually, COVID is still happening. People still die on Earth. You know what I'm saying? It's not like a big gigantic party over here in the U.S. sometimes, folks. And I don't want to single a foreign citizen like getting information for some reason that trying to sneak into the country is the best way. Because there are people who die trying to do that. It's not worth dying trying to get here. You got to trust the regular, genuine, honest U.S. citizen. It isn't worth dying to get to the United States. You understand? Okay? That wouldn't bullshit people. My dad was an immigrant. My uncle was an immigrant. And the Lueth family has done a lot for this country. Yeah, for Christian, who had an alcohol problem, served in the military. Alcohol, it was an issue. He still served, though. Nobody gets to open their mouth to me. In the United States of America, I'm giving my own government the opportunity to earn my trust back. But I put in my blog, why? How would anyone else feel? Not once they're going to use my personal information. But, then twice. And I didn't get a notice until 2 years later. tiny little piece of paper says, "Oh, you're on terms of compromise." Yeah, well, I figured. No surprises. I treated your personal sensitive data way better than you treated mine. United States government employees. I treated you like human beings, and you treated me like I was less than. That is a human rights issue. And if my own country does not want to, well, geez, there's the UN and there's all sorts of other organizations. So I can assure people in other countries, yeah, United States having a little trouble understanding what human rights are. So I wouldn't go like, yes, looking for the United States to be, yeah, the leaders of the free world. So elder nations, we need help. Thank you. I'm allowed to say that. I'm allowed to give a shit in my own country. I'm allowed to be a concerned citizen. I'm allowed to vote independent. I'm allowed to be sick. And to tell people I can't do that. Because I know I can't. Because I know this illness. Been living with it for a while. But now I have a diagnosis. Now I can start, yes, thinking about, okay, well, I got to try and get closer to a movement disorder clinic. I mean, there is one at Hopkins, it's true, but it's not the only one. Like, anybody think that I was standing around when I was 8 years old going, gee, I can't wait to grow up and do an exorcism? Well, I wasn't. The weaker vessel can't handle your shit. Okay? I'm on medical, clergy-wise, too. All right? I have a right to be angry, too. But you do have to get your anger out, people. I mean, try not to, spew it on, yes, an innocent, but try to do that somehow. Because it doesn't help situations. It makes it worse. And it makes it harder for those who are like, well, there is a solution. I would prefer if United States citizens who are in the entertainment industry and who get some kind of attention, please spend more time helping your own fellow citizens and stay out of world affairs. Because you probably don't have clearances and you probably are not trained. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Use your public time, United States of America, to help fellow American citizens. Okay. So, Elton, Maryland, yes, I'm Dr. Mia Lueth, and I live in Elton, and I live in the historic district. I do like preservation of historic district. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Well, historic, like architecture, but I gotta be honest. I mean, the house that I'm in, you go into a house that's built today in the United States of America, and you're looking at cheap, temporary crap. And then you get charged like $4 million for it. Like, what the fuck? The house I'm in is built to last, people. And so are all the houses that are like up and down Main Street that are in the historic district. Okay? I like master craftsmen. And I appreciate those who take time. And restorationists, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's a good way to go. Okay? But I'm not your enemy, Elton. You may not understand everything either, but I try to at least put it out, and I'm trying to get the attention of at least some people like in Caesar County and some Elton people, so that when they know who I am, they're not right. like I'm familiar, but also that I check all this information, all of it, very carefully. Sometimes with the state, sometimes federal government, sometimes, right. So I would not be putting this information out if it weren't like checked. And so Healthy Smiles Maryland, everybody. This is for all Marylanders. If you have Medicaid or you have Medicare or Medicaid, here you go, Maryland. We have expanded benefits. Amen. Hallelujah. This saves lives. The Healthy Smiles program saves lives. So, everyone, try not to be so afraid of dentists and understand you live longer, you go to the dentist, okay? All right. Everybody's case managers. That needs to be at least once a year, okay? You don't just say you need to go to the, general practitioner. You should also make sure they go to the dentist once a year, okay? But anesthesia and oral surgery is covered to a certain amount, and so there's less stress trying to figure out how to pay for this. Well, that helps. Okay. In the state of Maryland, they did a pilot program. I've known about it. The donated dental list in Maryland was like 2 years back. Right. Like back. Yeah. Well, I couldn't wait 2 years. Of course not. But I put it on there anyway. Yep. I had to use government COVID money to, pay for 2 serious deadly extractions. My heart is a little bit finicky, and so my electrolytes, so I can't just, here, drink Gatorade. Gatorade might kill me. Fuck you. Okay? If I don't listen to you, it's because I'm like, well, that'll kill me. Fuck you. You understand? Some of you are not doctors. You're not lawyers. I'm not a medical doctor, and I am not a lawyer. You understand? Okay? All right. I am a scientist. I know I can be amusing. This is true. But when you want people to be less afraid of topics and subjects, sometimes being funny and putting it in music does the trick. I'm not the only one who knows this. All right. Yeah, science isn't that hard, everyone, so don't worry. Okay? Sometimes there's tutors or specialists or people who know how you might think. You can help you kind of like, oh, I get it. Okay? But all paranormalists really should start hooking up with psychologists and parapsychologists who are aware of human behavior and who can, understand the psychological kind of situations. You understand? Especially those under extreme stress or, right. I mean, yeah, people who are having serious activity that some people call around them, I'm sure. Stress, yep. Cortisone people, yeah. You don't want that. Okay? So, it might be just someone has been on Seroquel too long. Okay? So, every single paranormal investigator, at least in the US, get in the habit of, saying you need to tell me what kind of medications you're on as part of your interview. Okay? And if they have doctors and other influences. That is a must when it comes to paranormal researching, okay? Right. You must, in your interview, say you need to disclose to me, right, medications you're taking. Because it factors. Is why. All right? If they don't want to tell you, then you can walk away from that investigation. You understand? Right. It is a must because it helps build a clearer picture, and it helps an investigator, and it helps the right a client or a person who's having issues. It helps to know that. So you must be honest. If you're not honest with investigators, they can't help you. Okay? So paranormal investigators, really, it should just start being just a standard question, and you should feel comfortable asking it. But you need to, yes, provide information to them and say nobody's going to get a hold of you, right? Like, we're going to put all this is in a locked file. You understand? Right? They need to have that security and trust that you're going to not be divulging any of that. You understand? Right? Maybe you need paperwork for that. Standard paperwork, whatever. All paranormalists should ask, what kind of medication, what kind of doctors do you see? Okay. It factors. It's necessary. And if someone really wants help, they will tell you. If they do not want to tell you, you walk away. But at that point, maybe there is, yes, a psychologist or someone who is aware of certain effects of certain medications who might be available. Okay. So you try and link them up. You don't just walk away. Oh, I'm going to ruin my investigation. It's not about you. So some paranormal investigators need to get the fuck off the television right now. You may not damage this field any further. That's how serious I am. All right. Truth, people. I don't lie to people. Anybody on Snap in the state of Maryland, right? Start talking to your favorite restaurants and tell them to sign up for the RMP program at dhsmaryland.gov. Okay? Hot food, those on foot, it makes a world of difference. Okay? If you're on foot, you use Snap. Talk to your favorite restaurant and tell them that you need them to sign up for the hot meal program. Okay? So that Snap can, handle a hot meal for you while you're out and about. All right? I know the people on foot. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's very important. So get the word out on the streets, please. Anybody on Snap in the state of Maryland, tell your favorite hot food places, anywhere you could get hot food, even if it could be like a food line, maybe even. Yeah, I mean, I know the bus routes for me, right? Like, yep, hot meal. It could be a breakfast. Sometimes people get a better start with a hot breakfast. Okay, right. So anybody who knows someone who was on foot a lot and has, benefits, make sure you pass along that if they tell their favorite restaurants, and there are places where they could get hot food, to register and sign up, then right, the people who are on foot and the people who are out all day and right, they even one hot meal a day makes a huge difference. You understand? So, okay, spread the word, everybody. Thank you. I know for walkers to be very helpful. People who are on foot all the time. And for me, just even once a month, like if I can get, like 20 some dollars worth of like chicken wings, I can pick and eat, and I will eat them, and so it gets protein in me for like 2 days. Yeah. And then there's extra, and so I mean, I'll still have to pay tip, but it's less expensive for me if I could get Snap to cover one delivery. You know what I'm saying? Also, I budget my staff, but people on foot, hot meals are vital. So let's get the RMP, what's it called? Restaurant Meal Program for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, that's SNAP, in the state of Maryland. Let's get the word out, people. Okay? Right. Um, McDonald's is a good choice. There's lots of McDonald's around. Well, in Cecil County, bus routes and other kind of things, yeah, the two Food Lions are near bus routes, and they do, like, you can't buy hot chicken right now, or hot soup or something. You know what I mean? But yeah, so Food Lion, I'll tell the manager next time I'm in Food Line. I don't know if grocery stores would qualify, but considering bus routes, I mean, yeah, in Cecil County, there's Perryville and Elton bus routes. Right, those people could go in to Food Line, and hot meals are, or Rural Farms has like hot sandwiches prepared. You know what I mean? So getting at least one hot meal in. I mean, well, even in the summertime, you know what I mean? But that way they can buy something and be inside in the air conditioning too. For a few minutes anyway, you get what I'm saying? So it's good business to for some of these places to try and get on the list, because like there's certain sub shops, but I know there's things that would really have been helpful to me if I could buy hot chicken that's already cooked and ready to go. I mean, it's easier to heat up, right? But you can buy cold ones. They have cold ones, okay? But sometimes it's like, well, I kind of need to eat within the next like half hour, and right, you know, fresh hot chicken is a little better than reheated chicken. But spread the word, Maryland, okay? Out on the streets, wherever you go, I don't care, all right? There are a lot of people this would be helpful for. And so the restaurants and the places where hot food could be need to know about it. So in Cecil County, I'm going to say, probably Seafood Line, and then, McDonald's, but there's also the Rural Farms. You can get hot chicken and hot sandwiches, and maybe the Wawa. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to see if I can find an email to send the It's Just Wings people the information. Like, please sign up for this so I can have your yummy wings. Yeah, like just once a month, hot prepared protein. Sometimes I can't get out of bed. Sometimes even getting up to use a microwave is difficult. This is my life. I'm not in denial of it. So I need other people to not be in denial of it. The people on foot I know, I meet them around. I mean, it would be very, very helpful. Right? If some of these restaurants hot, you can use SNAP for hot meal. Mm-hmm. Just true. Okay. All right. Well, I'm done, but the paranormal investigators, I am a scientist, and so you do have to kind of respect the science here too. So all EVPs for every case, you should be listened to separately and independently. And it's called a blind. Well, I'm calling it a blind listen. Scientists and people who've done experiments understand what I mean. But an actual non-sighted person is the best candidate for listening to EVPs in a blind study. So there's employment opportunities, and we should try and set something up so they can be employed, because non-sighted people have super ears compared to the rest of us. Okay. Yeah. And if they don't know the context, then it controls for expectation bias, which the scientific community really likes. Okay. And that process should be known. That's what I'm saying. Okay. I will only even consider a case if it has something to do with a child that's maybe, 11 and under. If it's a child, I will consider it. Okay, I don't have equipment. I need equipment. You understand? Okay. But that doesn't help sometimes. Yeah. But if there's really a serious case where there's a child involved, then paranormal investigator, you call me. I don't drive for safety's sake right now. Okay. But I do have right now during the day, yeah, I mean, I could do an hour or so every so often. It's because, yeah, Parkinson's doesn't let you sit still in a car for long periods of time, everyone. Right? So even as a passenger, like, I really can't. Like, after an hour, I feel like I want to just kill myself. It's not funny. But I don't think that people around me really realize that that's the case. So I can't like ride in anything, without being able to get up and stretch and walking. Okay. The one thing about Parkinson's and Parkinsonism is when at rest is when it's the worst. So we don't get rest, man. Not proper rest anyway. And sleep causes psychosis, sleep psychosis, and other things. It fucking sucks. This is meant to be a mature adult, live stream. I put that in there, not because of, pornography or dirty stuff. I can be a salty old sea dog with the potty mouth too, you understand? But here it's just mature adult conversation. And the paranormalists need to hear me. And they need to get this message around. You're actually not helping. You may not know that. So if they don't know it, somebody should say, yep, parapsychologists and paranormalists and, psychologists who do counseling who specialize in some kind of spiritual. There are plenty out and around. Trying to find them sometimes is, but, there's plenty of hope. Okay? You can't ever let go of that. But there should be more scientific types of information coming at it, the paranormal shows. So, okay, because, yeah, I mean, it could be somebody got triggered and they have PTSD. You understand? So, yeah, need people who are going to look at it from different perspectives and need a variety of individuals to may be able to, like counsel somebody or, yeah. Okay, so even if it's not a paranormal thing, well, you don't just fucking walk away from them. It's not about you getting your research. It's about them. Okay, that's all I want to get across. Okay? Blind EVP listens, and it is not healthy to listen to EVPs for more than 2 hours. All right? Your mental health, your stability, everything. Right? Never ever go listening EVPs or video for more than 2 hours. Okay? It should be a standard in the field. Okay? You got to have a break. Some people need to take a whole day break. Okay? Depending on what they're listening to. You understand? And how they're, yeah. I mean, some of it is manipulated. But that's something else. They may be able to. Regardless, everybody. It should just be like a mental health kind of standard, a healthy kind of way for paranormals and other people doing it. No more than 2 hours at a time. Watching video or EVP. You get up, you eat, you do something, you go to the bathroom, you do some other kind of work or something, you understand? And you make sure you got like a clear, good 2 hours in between. If you're going to push the pace, don't. Because it fucks up the science. And see, they need the science to understand. Okay? Please be careful with each other, everybody. Please be an asshole to your friend. Like, no, you can't sit there and drink in my damn house and talk bullshit and put it online. You understand? Help each other out. Humans are humans. The end. Okay? Please understand. Take care, everybody.